And now, I shall resurrect Slifer the Sky Dragon!
Oh man, he just brought back an Egyptian god!
Slifer's attack points are determined by the number of cards in my hand. And since I'm holding 4, he now has 4,000 points!
Hey guys, this is Slifer Maniac. Guys, it has been a long time. It's about time to do our next deck profile for our character of the Virtual World arc. One of our very gentlemen's right there. The technical armor section secretary, you might say. Linked to all the weaponry that there was built in the Kyber Corporation, which is this gentleman right there, number 4, or this one, Nezbitt. So there we go. His deck master is of course a robotic knight, as you might see directly before you, there or there. You can see it either way. So basically, the main strategy of his deck was that he had a machine type based deck, which was very much stuffed with vanilla monsters in order to make them ready for attack on the one hand, or on the other hand make them ready for tribute in order to make his deck master's main ability to work, which works like that. You have to tribute a monster and then you can put damage onto your opponent's life point. I think 400 for each or 300 for each. I'm not sure about that one number, a specific number anymore. But yeah, that's one of the strategies. The other one is of course to bring one of his boss monsters, or rather 2 of his boss monsters out. He possesses basically 2 boss monsters, which it's essential to call upon, besides of course his deckmaster ability. And other than that, he possesses many spell cards which directly support the machine theme. Yeah, and of course, as always, I had to fill in the gaps because we do not make it to 40 cards. So of course I did make something up, and other things I just made some adoptions which make sense and make the whole thing a little bit more playable. Nezbitt was basically facing 3 duelists, which is very special in this arc. And this is the only time we get to see that. And but 2 of them are really like beginners, and one is you might say even a professional, which is Duke Devlin. But the other 2 are beginners, and one of them is a real beginner, like playing the game practically virtually first time in itself, which is Serenity Wheeler, the little sister of Joey Wheeler. And within the duel, even Tristan and Duke has to explain to her how to duel herself, like how to put a monster in face-up attack position or face-up defense position, so she's doomed in the start. So eventually Tristan, who's not a good player himself, which I would also count as a beginner, he has fought in duels before, but they were not like competitive ones, has to sacrifice himself ultimately in order to save her. They are able to recoup with him later on, but still he's going down, and the other 2 are able to finish Nezbitt eventually, because he's getting too cocky. And Duke of course has some tricks up his sleeves, combining his deck master with his Dice Dungeon cards. And then of course Tristan's last remaining face down card, which you can then open up and then eventually boosts the fusion monster Sandran from Serenity, and then finishes with that one attack on Nezbitt. So let's dive into it. I don't want to make a without further ado. Like I've talked a lot deck profile-ish, you might say. You might wonder yourself why the malfunction card isn't here, because I intend to make an futuristic GX Nezbitt deck profile, and this one will be one card which I consider to be in this deck. So like I said, Robotic Knight is deck master, 4 stars, fire type, fire attribute, machine type, 1600 attack, and not that bad of 1800 defense. Next up is the I think even the second card he plays, or the first card he plays as a monster. Geigetech Wolf, also fire attribute, 4 stars, machine type, 1200 attack, 1400 defense. As we have to fill the whole shenanigans a little bit up, I put 3 in there from this very one. Then we have Cyber Falcon, an wind attribute, 4 stars, machine type, 1400 attack, 1200 defense, also as an 3-of. Now, why so many vanillas? Because also we have to have many monster cards which we can put there as a tribute, as we has to mime kind of the effect of his deck master, which will be find resemblance in one of the trap cards which I put in here, but yeah, I will come to that later. Ground attacking Bogreth, earth attribute, 4 stars, machine type, 1500 attack and 1000 defense, also one of the cards he possessed. 2. You might put in there 3 because there's a combination with earth machine type monsters in here. So I would recommend you to put here 3. Also put 3 of these because I didn't find it, so the third one. So I just put 2 in there, but yeah. Only tank T-34, inspired of course by the very famous T-34 Soviet-Russian tank, which was the strongest tank, or the most best combined tank, all-around tank in the Second World War. Earth attribute, 4 stars, machine type, 1400 attack, 1700 defense, also an earth attribute. So I would also recommend for you guys to have this as a 3-of in this very specific deck. Why, I will explain to you later. So like, then another mechanics which I would prefer in here, at least as a 2-of, maybe even as a 3-of. I put it in here as a 2-of, but yeah, you just do it as you like. You can try both versions out, of course. Is Cannon Soldier, which also works with tributes. It's an Dark attribute, 4 stars, machine type, 1400 attack, 1300 defense, and of course this gets the effect. You can offer 1 monster on your side of the field as a tribute, and in order to put damage onto your opponent's life points by 500 points. So it's a support to that strategy you have in here with the deck master as a 2-of course. As I said, you can do it also as a 3-of. Then a card which I made up myself, because Cannon Soldier we might get kind of get to see in not in his hand, but as he playing his effect, he tributes, he has to discard a monster card from his hand, and one of them is also Cannon Soldier. I put in there Cyberjaw, which we do not see in his deck, but I thought for a little bit draw power it make all the sense in the world, and of course it's also a board breaker. So there we go. It's a dark attribute, 3 stars, 900 attack, 900 defense. Of course, if it's flipped face up, then the all monsters are destroyed, and you and your opponent pick 5 cards and summon all monsters with 4 stars or fewer from your hand onto the field and face up attack or face down defense position. Very iconic effect, of course. Even more so as it got released from the ban list. I mean, like now it's you can even have it as a 3-of, which is mental for like back in the days in your deck. Gradius. I think we saw this one, and yeah. It's a light attribute, 4 stars, machine type, 1200 attack, and 800 defense. I put this one as a 3-of in here. And I gave him 1 Gradius option, which we do not see in this specific deck, but yeah. That's a light attribute, 1 stars and machine effect. Has question mark attack stats and the question mark defense stats. Its effect works like that. This monster can only be special summoned by setting 1 radius on the side of the field. The attack and defense of this monster is always applied to the attack and defense of the selected radius. If the selected radius is destroyed or removed from the field, this card also destroyed. So, like, if you have this one, you can also then bring this one up to the field then later on, and then you have like a second radius. Then I put in there, or I made an adoption which make all the sense in the world. You might have had because it's like a machine type monster, which is Golgoyle. It was finally, after like 20 some years, released in the Speed Duel Streets of Battle City, I think it was. Box. So also an Earth attribute, so very good for the deck. 4 stars, machine type, 900 attack and 1600 defense. So, and now up to his boss monsters. First off, is Machine King, who got 6 stars. Is also an Earth attribute, a machine type with 2200 attack and 2000 defense, and its effect works like that. Increase the attack of this card by 100 points for each face-up machine type monster on the field, so it works very good with the machine types that you have in here. And last but not least, which was in the show, particularly a fusion type monster, is Perfect Machine King. He an ultimate in Rise of Destiny is the first edition, which is has 8 stars, also an Earth attribute, machine type, 2700 attack and 1500 defense. So theoretically, you could put also here Witcher of the Black Forest in here, and then if it's destroyed, you could like search this card also. So theoretically, if it's up to you to do, I didn't do it. And if its effect works like that, increase the attack stats of this card by 500 points for each monster from type machine on the field, except for this one. So guys, this is my machine type lineup. As I already mentioned, this one and this one I would put there as in 3 off. You might also put this one as in 3 off, and I maybe exchange some of those for it. Yeah, and this is the monster, pretty much the monster lineup. Who of you wants to make a copy or a picture in order to like try it out yourself? There you go. 3, 2, 1, and I'm putting it away. So this was the monster lineup, and let's get up into our spell lineup. So the spell lineup I made like very quick and straightforward, because I didn't think it would make so much sense to change so much. So like Cards of Sanctity. I'm not sure whether he played this one or not, but also we could need, of course, a little bit draw power there. Then a card which I think we saw in his hand is Dimension Hole, of course. Card of Sanctity, you can draw until you have 6 in your hand, is in the anime and in the TCG. You have to remove all the, I think, hand cards in your hands, banish them, and then you control, and in your hands, and then you can draw cards, and you have 2 in your hands. Yeah, if you're in trouble, then it will also help in the TCG, but yeah, it's nothing in comparison to what it does in the anime. Dimension Hole, of course, you can remove 1 monster from the field, from the other side of the field, and then the monster zone cannot be, you can put another monster into that monster zone, and after 1 turn, your monster returns. A very like filler card, which was used more often by players in this arc. Then I have a card which would make sense, but as we do not have any fusion monster, Perfect Machine King is in the anime a fusion monster. Fusion Recycling Plant would make sense, but as we do not have any fusion monsters in here, you might put in one if you want or not. I'm letting this out, so you can put it in if you have a fusion monster, or you put it out. And the effect works like that. It's a field spell card. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card and add to your hand 1 polymerization from your deck or graveyard. Once per turn, during the end phase, you can put 1 monster from your graveyard and choose it that has been used as an fusion material for fusion summon, and then you can put it back to your hand. So very good recycling option right there, like the card itself says. And also self-explanatory that I have no polymerization in here because we don't have any fusion monsters. So I put this one out, and also I put the polymerization out. But we do have Clockwork Knight, which was released I think 2 years ago, a card which we waited a very long time for, a permanent spell card, which works like that. All face-up monsters on the side of the field become machine-type monsters. And machine-type monsters that you control get 500 attack and defense stats, so a good boost. Additionally, all machine-type monsters that you opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense. So with this Clockwork Knight, of course, also the opponent's monster cards become machine-type cards. So like they're losing 500 attack and defense, and you can banish this card from the graveyard, and then discard one card and put one Earth Machine type monster from your deck to your hand. So that's why I mentioned Earth Machine type monsters. And also Clockwork Knight hasn't just this. It's a once per turn effect, and yeah, so that's also a once per turn effect, and you can just use one Clockwork Knight. So there we go. I put on there also in there Mystical Space Typhoon as a staple in order to like destroy a spell or trap card, but it has also an other specific aim, which is gate to another dimension, which I put in here because I thought this card would fit this machine on the one hand because it's like a modern machine, but also with the dimension that it works, or the name itself, it pretty much fits to the virtual world theme. So of course this is on a permanent spell card. You can activate this card and by choosing one monster on each side of the field and banish both of them. And and then if this card is destroyed and brought to the graveyard, the banished monsters return. So like if you maybe want to protect one of your monsters against one of the maybe strong monsters for your opponent, you can activate this next turn and you have one card in reserve. But if you want like bring it back, you can maybe destroy it with Mystical Space Typhoon yourself. Monster Reborn also is a staple, and in there of course always will be special summon one monster up from either player's graveyard in face-up attack position or face-up defense position. Machine Duplication, a card which I think was played by Marek, but also of course working with machine. So choose one monster type machine from type machine with an attack 500 or fewer on the side of the field. You can special summon up to 2 cards with the same name from your deck. I'm not even sure if we have 500 attack machine monsters in here. I don't think we do have, but just in order, because I didn't check that accurately, to be honest. I don't think we have, but Golgol has 900. So you put like 3 machine type monsters in here. I just forgot about the effect. Ridiculously unhinged, I have to admit. Yes, I forgot about that. But yeah, you can instead put Fissure in here or something like that. Then I have Gravity Blaster, which works with this deck. It's an equip spell card. Equip only to a machine type monster once per turn. You can activate this effect. It's permanent against 500 attack, 400 attack. This attack again remains even if this card leaves the field or the monster becomes unaffected by card effects. If it battles an opponent's monster, the monster's effect is negated during the battle phase only. So also a very good effect, an attack boosting effect, and also opponent's effect negating effect. Then I have Machine Factory. I think this was also a card which we saw in this specific arc, and also in that specific particular game. And the permanent spell card, all machine type monsters on your on the field get 200 attack each time if one or more face-up machine type monsters on the field are destroyed due to battle or a card effect. You can put 2 scrap counters on this card, and you can put this card on the graveyard and then put 1 machine type monster from the graveyard that equals that counter, or has fewer levels or equals that counter in terms of like level stars level, and then special summon it. Yeah, so also a good effect. Dark Hole, which I thought it would make also sense to have like a board breaker in here. Pot of Greed, also for draw power, of course, it will be always a Pot of Greed in one of my decks. So this is all the spell line up. Of course, I already mentioned a machine. A duplication won't make sense in this card lineup. I have to admit it. I did all forget about it. Even though I like searched about all the cards, and a couple of days ago I did forget about this one. But still, you can put some machine type monsters 3 or 2 with 500 attack or fewer in here, and then it would make sense. Or you put it out and put like, I don't know, Raigeki or Fissure in here, and then we have our lineup. So this is the spell lineup, and we good. Let's get into the traps. The traps is also very straightforward, and in the dual monsters era you have to take into account that we don't have any like so complicated effects. At least not in the TCG. In the anime it's another deal, but yeah. The first trap card is Ryoko Field, a trap card which is a counter trap against a spell card from your opponent, which like specifically designs one card as a target, like block attack was in the anime, which Tristan Taylor used in order to bring the Forgiving Maiden from Serenity into defense mode, because she wanted to put it in defense mode but put it in the attack mode because she didn't know better. So yeah, he blocked that effect and it remained still in the attack mode. Backup Soldier, because we have so many vanillas in here, of course. You can activate this card when 5 or more monster cards in the graveyard, and then you can put 3 monster cards, except for monsters with effect with 1,500 attack or fewer from your graveyard to your hand, to make, of course, your Cannon Soldier's effect, for example, then work again. Or for this effect, which mimes especially the effect of Robotic Knight in the show, which is full salvo, and it works like that. Discard, after the activation of this card, discard your complete hand onto the graveyard, and then you can put damage to your life points equal 200 for each card that has been discarded to this card's effect. So I put this, of course, as a 3-off in here because it's a very essential card. And then, of course, if we do that, then we can recycle with Backup Soldier some of the monster cards. Then a card we had Short Circuit in the show, which put all the monster card from your opponent's from defense to attack position, and it's pretty much working like last attack order from Kaiba, which is a permanent trap card and does very much the same as the Short Circuit spell card, which I just depicted. Then Zero Gravity, which is a Yugi card, but also has the ability to like change all the positions from the monsters from their current position. Like if there is a defense mode position monster on your opponent's side of the field, then it's switched to attack, and if it's an attack position monster on your opponent's side of the field, it's switched to defense, and yeah, also with your monsters. So also a very handy effect, which I played very much in the old days. Acid Trap Hole. Why Acid Trap Hole? Because Tristan Taylor pretty much, it's the very picture we got as Tristan fell into that acid or trap hole, or maybe lava trap hole. It looks very much the same, but in reality this card works like against the face-up defense monster from your opponent, where if it has 2,000 defense or fewer, then it is destroyed, and if it's not, then it remains or is returned to its original position. So there we go, guys. This is it. This is my 41 card or 40 card Nezbitt deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, show me some love, guys. I want to do more stuff, but I was prohibited the last days and weeks. I have to apologize, but I'll promise that I will do more stuff more regularly. So like maybe also like not also deck profiles, but maybe our openings as well. Yeah, but I have to regard this a special matter because I don't know which one to do first, but I will decide that in one of these days. So this is it. This is me, your Maniac, and as always, I hope you guys have a nice evening, nice afternoon, nice morning, nice midday, whenever you might watch this one. This is me, your Maniac. Peace.